Honorable Minister.
Yes.
Happy to meet you in the community.
Okay, thank you.
And it is a pleasure talking to you.
Okay.
And especially looking at situation, training.
Now, I want you to introduce yourself.
My name is Oppong Twum. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for the Africa Union Trading Company. So if you go on Facebook, you put Africa Union Trading Company, you will see the work that we're doing in Liberia and other Liberia. We have healthcare, technology, education that we prioritize, but in Liberia right now we are helping law enforcement and other agencies to fight drugs.
The observation since you came, and I know you've been patrolling around, driving around, interacting with young people. How do you look at Malawi? Straight to the point, to the drugs.
Yeah, things is gradual, but the situation with drugs is very terrible. Drugs is a very rich crime to fight all over the world. And there were a lot of observation. I visited the Justice Enforcement Agency. I talked to some personnel. I talked to others, even on volunteer basis. You know, it's very deplorable. It's very terrible, and it's something that we all, everyone, the educational sector, the health sector, all Liberians need to put hands and fight this job. It's not one person. It's not just with DEA. When I came in February, we introduced to Liberia our rapid test. It's the same test that is used in the U.S. military. Their rapid test, it detects 13 different substances found in people. So when we brought the test to Liberia, we tested a few guys that they said were taking kush. And they tested positive for 4 different substances. 4. Some had meth in it. It had THC, the substance found in marijuana. It had different other chemical substances. Now, each of those substances, when I reported to the military doctor, you know, what solution for Liberia, he frankly told me that the combination of these substances, most of the young men will not recover. Absolutely. The percentage for them to recover is slim. And most of them, when they go to rehab, because each of these substances, you have to go through a rehabilitation process for about a year plus. So put together the combination of 4. So I noticed, I visited a lot of rehab centers. They are trying, but most of the centers have not reached a standard. It's not a criteria base for a rehab. Some are using SS4s, some are using, the people who own drugs, honorable, they are victims.
Some people are using Bible.
Yeah, singing God's song, all that. I mean, I'm a Christian, I believe it, but in reality, even the Bible says faith will all work is dead. So singing God's song will not make that person automatically go through rehab. It's part of the rehab process on a psychosocial counseling, but it does nothing. They don't have group therapy. And you know what is very alarming? Majority of those on drugs in those rehab centers just go there because they get free food and place to sleep. They are not waiting to go through the rehab process because it's a mental psychosocial thing to convert somebody to leave drugs. Drugs is very addictive. For typical example, you can see a woman will be saying, "Oh, I let them man, they make and beat me, they make and bust my head, but I will be behind him, I will just bear it." Just how you see sex is addictive to some, that's the same thing with drugs. Is even 10 times. I just try to give that similarity for you to know how dirty this drug substance is. So we have a lot of recommendations.
What are some of the recommendations?
Now, the 5 recommendation is there should be putting Justice Enforcement Agency all over every ghetto will not solve the issue.
They will not solve
we
the
got
issue.
to find a means to minimize the consumption. What do I mean by that? For example, the police. Before you get your police clearance, you have to be drug tested. 1. All schools in Liberia, the Ministry of Education should enforce the prevention mechanism. Chemistry teacher should be able to teach drugs, the harmfulness of drugs. It got to be infused into our curriculum. You know, this whole drugs thing is new and it's cheap and it's very addictive. It's destroying our youth. So all schools, even teachers, there are some schools who visited, you see the teacher, you know straight they're taking in drugs. Teaching our children. They're taking in drugs, teaching our children. So I want to work with law enforcement agencies, with the DEA, any for that matter. My medical team will go there to various schools, door to door, and they will have to do drug tests. So the president have to have a mandatory or executive order. I think the DEA, under the DEA, they have the order to go. The DEA have the power to go to every ministry, government entity, and agency to enforce this standard. The law is already there. It's just the implementation. But the president can further emphasize on the seriousness. So it got to go to all schools for them to do mandatory drug testing, to be mandatory drug tested. and also hospitals, clinics, not forgetting the community centers, civil society group, all these things, a good author politics. But we are saying these things, but we are going to, our population is dying. When you go to transport ministry, you have to be drug tested before you get driver license. When there is an accident, insurance company got to enforce the liability. That is to say, if you are under the influence of alcohol or substance and you fall into accident, the insurance does not cover it. So it's a wide range of things. But there should be police clearing, the police immigration. People coming in applying for naturalization, work permit, they got to be drug tested. So if you do that, you will minimize the consumption, because if nobody buying the drugs, you think they from Venezuela or other places they will transit in Liberia? No, it won't come. You reduce, the law of supply and demand. You gotta apply the law of supply and demand.
Thank you so much.
And that's my recommendation. And we're gonna talk more mini stuff.
And when I received a visa from Malaysia, he said the death, we are caught with drugs. The penalty is death.
Yeah.
They put on the visa.
But right now, guess what? Our children that they are chasing in the ghetto,
Yeah.
who have been victimized by this substance, the dealers and traffickers are going away scot-free because the drugs is beatable. Y'all can catch me with drugs right now. I go to the court and spend some money there. I walk away the next day.
We have to applaud this young man.
You walk away the next day.
Every Liberian in the diaspora can be this man. To be friend with you, the private sector with what? Boost.
It will boost.
It will boost.
We will change. We will make the application of the liberalization policy.
Well, you can say everything. This man from Unity Party, this man from ANC, this man from CDC. We not solve the problem.
People think that party politics.
Do you know how many young people are getting crazy? If you know how many young people are getting crazy, I swear to God, the president need to come up with what? Executive order. Executive order.
We got to fight it from land, sea, air, all over.
To the airport.
And the DA, Justice Enforcement Agency, should be empowered. Somebody can go arrest somebody, they're hungry, they ain't getting paid.
They ain't getting paid.
What will happen? They compromise.
Compromise.
That's the reality.
Thank you so much for joining my brother, and I hope our brothers and sisters can find the footsteps of this young man who left America and that beautiful area to sit down to go to. And if you
are listening, we are coming for you. If you think you're going to destroy the young people in their country, we have zero tolerance. We're going to support whoever that will carry the agenda to make Liberia a drugs-free society.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.